Right, it's been a long while actually. Well, was my last stream? I don't know, like a couple of days ago. Last week? Okay, so today I want to, it's already close to 11 p.m. so I just want to do some reading before I call it a night. A few things I want to watch and just kind of study a little bit. But I guess let's start with this little article here that I found about normalizing flows. I don't really know what that is. I roughly know, but I don't think it's very relevant to what I do. But it's always good to just read around the subject anyway. Sorry, there's no music today, but I just don't feel like having music today. Okay, let's get started. So normalizing flows. By the way, I'm chatting with a friend, so I might be on and off typing. It's been an interesting past 2 weeks. I found out that my paper got accepted into a NeurX workshop, so that's kind of nice. But it turns out I think the workshop isn't very hard to get into, so it's not that surprising. And I got back another review that was pretty bad. But then again, I didn't expect too much. I just wanted to get feedback from the people. But the sad thing is the reviewers, I don't know, it feels like they might not really understand the paper in its entirety. So they gave some of the comments were pretty hard to answer, and I don't know, some of them do not really apply that much. But that's just how it is, according to my supervisor and some of my friends. That's just how it is. Sometimes you just get reviewers. Well, that's just how it is. Anyway, good practice for me anyway. So, okay, I see we have one viewer. I don't know who that is. Hi, if you're viewing. Congratulations on being first. Not that it's an achievement. Like it's super easy to be first because there's usually less than 2 people. Okay, let's begin. So normalizing flows. So the point is to learn representation of data. Learn the probability distribution of large data sets, GANs, VAE, and normalizing flows. Alright, some faces. These are all these. If you're not familiar, these faces are not real human pictures. They are learned models. So the algorithm or the method looks at a bunch of real human faces, understands them, and then is able to produce these faces. So these faces likely look, probably similar to some of the existing faces. Actually, they might be celebrities, I guess. But they are in fact kind of new images that didn't exist previously. I don't know who are these people. It's kind of like Shakira. I don't know. Okay. All inspiring results. Blah blah blah. Like the exact evaluation inference. Low quality blur results. And challenging GAN training in GANs with challenges. What? Such as mode collapse and vanishing gradients, posterior collapse, rising flows of soft using reversible functions. Okay, what's the vanishing gradient problem again? Is it because the multiply then so it's gone? Yeah. So when you multiply a bunch, right? As more layers, why is this page jumping around? Okay, as more layers use certain explanation function added to a neural network, the gradient of velocity approaches 0, making it hard to train correct. Oh, I knew this, but I really forgot what it is. Oh my god, I learned about this 4 years ago. Certain activation of sigma squishes large into small, therefore a large change in output we call a small change. Therefore derivatives become small. Okay, so this is the derivative here, the red curve. So at this point you basically have no, the value of the derivative is super small. Image 1 blah 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 close to 0. Yep. And then you multiply it down, then you just get nothing. Yep. Oh, okay, so just use ReLU. That's a solution. Alright. Yeah, ReLU residual network. Okay. Batch norm. When large input space, batch norm reduce by normalizing input so it doesn't reaches the outer edge. Ah, okay, that's nice too. Right, so you stay inside here. Ah, that's actually pretty smart. Alright, that's a good review. Okay, so normalizing flows is a series of simple functions which are invertible. Oh, what's going on? So invertible, what does that mean? What do they mean by invertible? Or the analytical inverse of the function can be calculated. Okay, so you are talking about bijections. So invertible functions in the math sense. Okay. So data set you get what? Okay, so I guess this means that you can naturally, the whole point is then you can reverse the process. It can be seen that the normalizing flows, why is it called normalizing? Oh, I guess if you end up with normal, you're normalizing that photo, and then this is the flow. Transforms the complex data points such as MNIST to a simple Gaussian distribution or vice versa. That's interesting. Okay, I guess it's not that interesting. I mean, it's interesting, but it's not that shocking because a lot of things probably have a normal distribution hidden inside, so you just gotta extract it. But I wonder how you go back. That's an interesting point. Oh, but you're only talking about bijections, right? So yeah, it's not obvious. If you take some statistic, then it becomes obvious, but okay, let's see how this goes. A stark difference can be seen from GANs where the generator is trained, which takes a random vector and produces an image where the flow-based models during training transform from data point to simple distribution. It's a bit of a confusing sentence. Let me try that again. A stark difference can be seen from GANs where the generator is trained, which takes a random vector and produces an image where the flow-based models during training transform from data point to okay, so this is the opposite. Alright. Whereas the flow-based model, meaning this, from data point to simple distribution. Alright. Random samples are drawn from the Gaussian distribution to obtain MNIST images from normal backward during testing. I see. So you do. That's cool. Must it be normal? I guess not. I don't know, maybe. Flow-based models are trained using the negative. I don't even know how you train this, but what are these functions? What the heck, yeah. Negative log likelihood loss, where PZ is the probability function. The below loss function, the below loss function is obtained using the change of variables formula from basic statistics. So Z, and then you have this term, and then you log, so it becomes an additive term. And then this would be what's H this is the layers? Huh. So I mean this means this is actually powers of the same thing? No. Okay, we'll find out. So it's training using the negative log likelihood. Normalizing flows offer various advantages over GANs and VAE. Some of them are listed below. The normalizing flows do not need to put noise on the output. Do not need to put noise in the output, and thus can have much more powerful local variance models. I don't know what that means. The training process of a flow-based model is very stable compared to GAN. Require TF tuning. Okay, are much easier to converge. Why? Do we know why? Disadvantages. Flow-based models. What does that even mean? No, honestly, I don't really need to know this, but I'm just curious. Oh, Lillian Wang. I think she's a big name in the subject, and I should probably know her stuff actually. Okay, this looks like it could take a little bit of time. Oh no. Yeah, here's the thing. I'm not super familiar with the details of all these things, all the little latest greatest thing that people do. I mean, I'm curious as to what this is talking about. So you are taking... Okay, wait, let's finish this up first. Shortcomings. Lackluster performance on task density estimation is currently unexpressive as other approaches. One of two things required is the bijective. One of two things required for the flow to be bijective is the volume preservation over transformation, which often lead to very high dimensional lane spaces, which are usually hard to interpret. Okay, the samples that are generated through flow-based models are not as good. What does that even mean? Okay, we take Glow architecture as an example for better understanding, which is a flow-based model opening in 2018. Glow architecture one, so a flow market, blah blah blah. Okay, so act norm invertible 1x1 affine coupling, squeeze flow, split squeeze flow. Okay, the Glow architecture is made of a combination of some superficial layers discussed. We'll go to a multi-scale, a series of repeating layers called named scale. So this is one scale, I guess. This is a multi-scale. Each flow step contains act norm 1x1 convolution coupling layer followed by a splitting function. The splitting function divides the inputs into two equal parts in the channel dimension, from which the one half goes into further layers. The one half, okay, then the latter half goes to the loss function. The split is done to reduce the effect of the gradient vanishing, which occurs in an end-to-end fashion. The squeeze function converts, what's this to do with anything? Input into a tensor size, so reshape it crosswise manner 1, 5, 2, 6, 3, 7, 4, 8. Okay. During reshaping can be okay. Wait, is this crucial? Okay. So act norm for all ij, xij s plus b. What is s? What is b? So it is like a what do you I don't know, like an affine transform. So this is a 1 times 1 convolution. Okay, I don't think this is very important. There's a bunch of details. Oh shoot, this. Okay, well, I'm just more interested to find out. Samples generated on the MNIST set. But do they show why it's like if it's worse? Doesn't really show that, huh? All right. Oh, I saw the Okay, yeah, let's read this one just a little bit, little bit. Okay, this is a bit small. Okay, the third type, generative model, GAN and VAE. They explicitly learn the probability density of input data. Flow-based models. So VAE, the way I understand it, is that you are learning. You have an encoder, you squeeze things down, and then you have a decoder, which you test your encoder with, I guess. And then the point is to have a very good encoder, which learns so that you once you have that, you can you use a decoder, and then you put in some noise, and then noise meaning to say it's like kind of a dice roll. You can think about it like that. So you roll a dice, and then it tells you something new, gives you a new image, something like that. And GAN is a little bit similar in the sense that you're training two pieces of things concurrently, discriminator and generator. So I guess the generator part generates. So far written about GAN and V, neither of them explicitly learn the probability density function of real data because it is really hard. Taking the generative model with latent variables, for example, can be hard as it is intractable to go through all the possible values of latent variable Z. Correct. Flow-based, and if you can solve this, then then it's like you more or less solve statistics, I guess, for the most part. Concurs is how probably how normalizing flows, a powerful statistics tool for density estimation. Is it just gonna go down? Oh. Yeah, I know this paper, but yeah. Okay. I don't wanna really go too deeply into this because really I don't need this. I don't think I need this at all, but just kind of fun and interesting. And I just want to get on stream and get some productivity done. Okay, yeah, maybe I should read this at some point. I mean, I definitely should. Let's just keep it open. Okay, flow-based good estimation PX makes it possible to efficiently complete many downstream tasks, sample unobserved or realistic new data points, predict the rareness of future events, infer lane, blah blah blah, and a bunch of stuff. Good stuff. Okay. Yeah, so the two models are trained to play minimax, which actually reminds me of the R-star paper that I read just last week about MCMC sample convergence diagnostics. One way to do it is to use essentially, is to train a network to identify, well, not really but use a network to discriminate between the chains, and then if you can't do it better than random chance, then hey, your chain is converged, which is kind of a smart idea, to be honest. Okay. VAE optimizes the log vector of data by maximizing elbow. It's true. I remember watching a full hour lecture on the derivation of elbow by, it'd be cool if I can remember the guy's name. Ali Gotzi? Something like that. I don't know. This one. Yeah. Oh my god, I remember it. Yes, this one. Yeah, it's about an hour long precisely. Yep, that's an hour long.
I mentioned before about unencoded, but let me.
Yeah, so it's not a terribly complicated derivation, but it's good to know it. Okay, well, I keep getting sidetracked. Jeez. Flow-based model constructed by a sequence of invertible transformations. I'm very curious why it needs to be invertible and what does it really mean. Like the other two, the model explicitly learns data distribution, therefore the loss function is simply a negative log likelihood. Negative log likelihood, negative log likelihood? What would it be the negative log likelihood? I guess because inside here, inside here is the likelihood, I guess. You can think about it like that. Okay, so again, maximize elbow, minimize negative log likelihood, minimize the negative, so maximize the log likelihood. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, basics, Jacobian. Yep. Yep. Okay. Yes. Change your variable. This is important. Starting with a single case. You need a one-to-one mapping. That's true. So that you can keep on transforming this. I see. Okay, I think I start to understand. So you're really taking it as a density. That's an interesting way to look at it. Okay. Now the question is how to infer the unknown probability density function of the new variable px. Given x equals fz, so you have fz, which is distributed by pi z. Yep. And then you just do a change of variable. Yep. Yep. So this has to exist. The integral is a sum of an infinite number of rectangles, infinite with the height, where we substitute the variable z yields n. Okay, here indicates the ratio between the area of rectangles between the two coordinates. Okay, the multivariate, yes, except that now we have more than we have a matrix. So z, so in this case you can see that this x and z here are normal fonts, and here it's thick, which means that it is a vector. Yeah. Okay. So it's the inverse, it's a Jacobian. Okay, the foolproof. Okay, I can believe this. So wait, let me just check one little thing. Is there a square root term here? Hold on. I saw there's a square root term. Maybe I just learned. I just reread this in a book chapter some time ago about manifolds, but okay. Being able to do density. Yes. This is interesting. Okay, so this is your data. You want to take a normal, contort it in a very, controlled manner, where you keep, it's 1-to-1, so nothing really goes, so you preserve the volume, right? Really, that's more important than anything. Preserve the volume, and then you preserve, you don't squish 2 points into one. That's the main idea, right? You don't squish 2 points into one, and then you don't randomly remove points. Okay, so Z1 will be drawn from P probability distribution -1 of Z -1. Oh no, okay, and then Z will be transformation under Fi, and then so you can just do this. Okay. Well, I don't know why is there a need to write this P. I guess, okay, let's just make it clear that it's a different distribution. Oh yeah, I'll just write PZ. Well, that doesn't matter. PI, ZI, PI. The density with the change of yeah, so there is this negative term, there is this inverse term here. Is this obvious? Wait. The inverse. Wait, you can just pull out the negative one, huh? Oh, inverse function theorem, right? Yeah. There's implicit function theorem and inverse function theorem. Okay. Inverse function theorem means it's not a super trivial thing. I mean, it says that if you satisfy some conditions, then you have then your derivative exists in this way, I think. Damn it! It's in the Thomas Garrett book that I'm reading. Clearly, nothing's sticking. Okay, blah blah blah, and then you get this. No, inverse function theorem. Oh, that's convenient. If y, okay, then we have that. Yeah, okay, so your derivative exists in this way when you just take the inverse. So the derivative of the inverse is the same as the inverse of the derivative, which is super convenient. And the reason we have that is because of this. And okay, you can prove it more rigorously if you like. A note on Jacobians, determinant of an is the okay. This part I didn't understand. Like, okay. Actually, then it's obvious, right? No, not the same thing actually. Yeah. So this part is the part that allows it to be pulled outside. This part is the part that allows it to swap the operations before and after the derivative. Okay, given a chain of probability density functions, we know the relationship between each pair of consecutive variables. Then it's just some homework. You multiply a bunch of them, and then when you log it, they break up into summons, and then you sum them up. Very nice. So okay, let me try to visualize a bit. So you start off with the base, and then each time all you need to do is to collect up all these derivative terms evaluated at z0. Evaluate at z0. Yes. Determinant of fk zk minus 1 fk zk minus 1. Oh no, at the wait, because this would be evaluated at, where does this evaluated at? So dfi, yes, but you evaluate it at itself, right? So z, also this is evaluated at zi minus 1. Yes, I believe so. The path traversed by the random variable is the flow, and the chain formed by the successive distribution pi is called a normalizing flow. Required by the computation in the equation. This Jacobian is easy to compute. Okay, easily invertible. All right. With normalizing flows, the exact log likelihood becomes tractable. Okay, but how do you choose these? I'm so curious. Oh, I guess maybe that's your network. I don't know. As a result, the training criterion of flow-based generative models is simply the negative log likelihood over the training set. Yeah, so you just wanna, you wanna maximize this term, minimize the negative of it. Okay, let's go. Okay, this block is a little bit long, but it's real value non-volume preserving model implements a normalizing flow by stacking a sequence of invertible bijective transformations functions in each bijection, known as affine coupling layers. So affine means plus and a multiplier followed by a plus. So like shifting, shoop, and then translation. The input dimensions are split into two parts. The first D part stay the same. The second part D plus 1 to D. Undefined and affine transformation scale and shift. Oh yeah, that's what I said. And then both the scale and shift parameters are functions of the first D. Functions of first D dimensions. Okay. Yes. Interesting. Why? But okay. Also, there's an exponential term here, which is, so you scale this part, exponentiate it, then point-wise product it, and then you shift it by some t. Okay. Map RD to RD minus D. Yeah, the circle dot element-wise product. Okay. It is easily invertible. All right. This is just the same, and then so to get back x, you can just how do you do actually? Minus this, divide by this, then divide by s, I guess. Unscale it, yeah. Okay, I mean I'm not gonna read too much into this because I'm gonna forget it anyway. So this is obvious because of this part, and then you just do the steps. Shouldn't be hard. Hence, the determinant is simply the product of the diagonals, which is just this, which means it's just the sum of the exponential of the sums. Yes. So the affine curve looks perfect for constructing normalizing flows. Smiley face. Even better, since one computing f inverse does not require computing the inverse of s of t. And two, computing j doesn't involve computing j computing s of t. Those can be arbitrarily complex. Oh. Well, hold up. Why? Okay, I guess that's true. Yes, because if you differentiate with respect to x1 d to d minus 1, all you get is this. And then if you differentiate it with respect to 1 per d, you get you don't need this term because this is 0. So this is the part, wait, this is the magic. Okay, I see you. Alright. Oh, that's cool. So the shift and the transformation and the scale can be arbitrarily complex, and it doesn't matter because we don't need it to be invertible. Oh, that is sneaky. That is so sneaky. Okay. In one affine coupling layer, some dimensions remain unchanged. To make sure all the inputs have the chance to be altered, the model reverses the ordering in each layer so that different components are left unchanged. Following such an alternating pattern, reverses the ordering in each layer so that the set of units remaining which remain identical one is modified the next. Okay, batch numbers is found to help Right. Can work in a multi-scale, blah blah blah. Cool. I guess I get the main idea. What do you say mean idea? The main idea. Nice. Non-linear independent component estimation. It's a predecessor of real MVP. So like the real MVP, I see. Haha, very nice. The transformation in nice is the affine coupling layer without the scale term, known as the additive, so you just add, no scale. Alright, same thing. Glow extends the previous reversible generative nice and real MVP, simplifies by replacing the reverse permutation operation on the channel ordering with an invertible 1-by-1 convolution. Replacing the reverse permutation operation on the channel reversal. Okay, I'm not sure what it means by reverse permutation, because you don't really want to reverse it, do you? If you have, wouldn't you want to like cycle it or something? Okay, doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter because I'm gonna forget the details. I just want to get the main ideas anyway. So, okay, activation norm. Okay, blah blah blah. Alright, I'm not gonna read this part. Oh, it's the same picture as I had. Autoregressive. Okay, so this is just writing things down, right? Oh, it's a lot of them. Okay. Oh shoot. Yo, what the? It's a lot. Okay, yeah, I think I'm gonna call it because yeah, I mean I don't. Yeah, it's good to know these things, and when I need to, I can always come back from details. All right, now let us move on to the entree, which is Aggregacy and Convergence by Michael Betancourt, who's quite the big name in HMC's literature, I guess. This short reviews the basic theory and asymptotic pre-asymptotic convergence. Yeah, so my work uses, I mean, how do I say, my work works because of these theorems. So, but I don't actually study deeply into them necessarily because I actually don't, you know, it doesn't really come up all that much. Because as long as my algorithm fulfills some of the criterion, I know that all these theories apply. But yeah, it's good to know really what I'm talking about here. Okay. So this is a transition tau. Is it tau or t? I think that's tau, right? And then AX gets mapped to so okay. So A is a set, is it? Okay, we'll see. Specify probability distribution at each point. And sampling from this distribution realizes transition from that initial point to a new point. Applying the Markov transition, you create a yields point called the Markov chain that meanders through empty space. More formally, lifts any distribution of initial into a joint distribution product space of initial points in transition. Oh shit! Let me read carefully. Okay. Yes. Let me think what's the meaning of this. I'm shuffling cards, by the way, so if you hear like noise, that's from the cards. Okay, I guess it's a bit like notational, I guess, or definitional. I guess you can always define things like that. But wait, what is A here? Am I tripping? Did he say what A is? Or didn't? He did not. He did not. Oh no. I guess A is I don't know. Transition from sigma algebra curly X and sampling from this distribution realizes a transition from the initial point to a new point x1. Okay, let's move on. Lifting rho to the joint distribution tau rho and then marginalizing to the space of transition convolves the Markov transition over all possible states, yielding one-step distribution of possible transitions. Okay, where what's this? This is pi. This is omega of pi. Is it pi? Is that weird pi? Yeah, this is pi. Why would you write it like that? I mean, I see him using this symbol a lot, in some of his work. I guess, whatever. Okay, so pi. So that means pi is projection, yeah. So you are taking, okay, so lifting p to the joint distribution, rho to the tau rho. So rho is initial points. Transitions is tau. But when you have a transition, yeah, you get all these. Well, I'm a bit confused. Why is it using this notation of a product? Because this makes sense. It's two spaces. Lifts any distribution of initial points into a joint distribution. So tau is a distribution? Okay, I assume given some x. Okay. Okay. Boy, am I not good at this. Lifting rho to the distribution tau times rho, then marginalizing. So you lift it up, then marginalizing to the space of transition, to the space of transitions. Convolves the Markov transition over all possible initial states. Yes. Yielding one-step distribution. Possible transitions. What? Wait. Okay. Okay. Yes. When f spans function of practical interest, any constraints on the corresponding integral probability metric are directly applicable in applied settings. I don't know what that means. Any constraints on the corresponding integral are directly applicable. More restricted spaces, however, can still prove useful in more indirectly. In particular, integral metric amounts for restricted space because demonstrate the absence of pathological behavior that would otherwise affect silent space. Okay. Wasserstein distance. Sri Perumbudur. Find in the ambient space. That vanishes if and only if two arguments are identical. First, we assume that the distance function is compatible with the two measures being compared. Yeah. So that the expectations are well defined. A is a set. I recently just saw, in fact, a video by what's his name? Marco Couteret. Ah man, I'm botching his name. I'm so sorry if you ever see this. But he talks about Wasserstein distance, and he kind of derived it, and alongside the duality. I don't know, Marco Wasserstein. Probably not Marco. Marco. It's a Microsoft talk. What is Wasserstein? Is it not a Microsoft talk? Oh wait, is it deleted? Why is it so hard to find? Wait. Ah, it's optimal transport talk. Marco Couteret. Yeah. Yes. It's a really nice really nice introductory lecture. Yeah, okay, but I retain some of the basic concepts, but not much more than that. In order to take an expectation of, we need to lift them to a joint, so a coupling that marginalizes. Yeah, so the most naive coupling is just the product of the two individual densities. We'll denote the space of coupling by gamma, because we assumed so let me remember, let me try to recall this. So the Wasserstein distance is they pick among all the coupling the one that minimizes the distance to the power of something, Wasserstein 1 or 2, whatever, and then while the push forward one pushes forward to the other, something like that. I don't know. Because we assume that the marginal expectation are well defined, the joint expectation with also will also be well defined. Okay. The one Wasserstein metric, Kantorovich-Rubinstein metric, is then defined as the smallest of these joint expectations over all possible couplings. Okay. So pick so that G is so that the expectation of G is the smallest, the joint expectation. So that's the distance. So that's the distance between two distributions, is that the smallest expected expectation for some function G based on coupling class gamma, all possible, space of all possible couplings. Although they might appear different superficially, integral probability metrics and one Wasserstein actually provide equivalent notions of distance between two measures. What? This duality is formalized in the Kantorovich-Rubinstein theorem. Wait, so the largest difference based on some class of function. Alright. A distance function G. Wait, but this has a distance function G though. This is some class of function F. It's just real valued measurable. Okay. Defines a Lipschitz seminorm on functions by supremum of the difference in F given the difference in distance in G. The supremum okay, so the largest possible attainable quantity. So Lipschitz seminorm in turn defines a space of continuous functions whose seminorms are less than or equal to 1. Okay, perfectly understandable, I guess. And it has to be C0, which means, what does it mean? What does C0 mean? Continuous, but no need to be differentiable? Or is it continuous at 0? I think it's continuous. Just continuous. Okay. Yeah, okay, so just C0 is this, so it's kinda alright. Okay. C0 while the positional metric, wait, so what am I looking at again? So this is a class of function defined by distance function G, where their seminorm, Lipschitz seminorm, is less than 1 in the space of continuous function in X. Alright. While the positional metric immediately defines one Wasserstein distance, this space of Lipschitz functions define a corresponding integral probability metric. Wait, what do you mean the positional metric? What is a positional metric? What is positional metric? I don't know what it means. Defines a corresponding integral probability metric. Okay. Okay. Oh, I'm looking at my fan and it's kind of dirty. Shoot. Kind of want to clean it now. The total variation distance is particularly useful metric for the analysis of Markov chain, can be derived from either of these two perspectives. From one Wasserstein perspective, the total variation distance is given by using a degenerate distance function specified by an indicator function G, called indicator dc, where d is all the pair of points that is the same, so a line. And then dc is the complement, so nothing. So other than it equals to itself. So if it's not equals to itself, basically. Yeah, it's always 1. Working through the coupling definition of the one Wasserstein distance metric, one can show that the total variation distance is equal to the largest difference of allocated measure over elements of the defining sigma algebra. The total variation distance the corresponding. Wait, so now it's so we now use G and then we define the one Wasserstein distance become this. The corresponding integral becomes this. So you get this between 0 and 1. This is bound on this bound on function behavior, and hence the class of test functions being considered can be scale as long as the normalization is modified. Okay. Yep. Taking advantage of this scaling freedom, the total variation distance is often defined as. Alright. So all f less than 1 maximum difference in magnitude of the expectations between mu and nu. Half of it. Okay. Any of the probability metrics introduced above can provide some quantification of how similar the distributions are. It's true. If two distributions become more and more similar as s increase, then any Markov generated by will provide better approximation as time becomes longer. The challenge then is then to show not only do the distance converge, but how fast. Okay, cool. Very, very cool. All right. Yep, it's about this time where I start to get slower and slower in my comprehension. I'm getting hungry too. Oh, I need to prepare lunch for tomorrow. Yeah, I'll do it later. Okay. The invariance of the target distribution provides some constraint on how the n-step distribution converges towards the target distribution. For example, the total variation between n steps from different the initializations will be bounded by the distance between those initializations. So n step from here is less than rho. Initial distribution, I see. So this distance is always gonna be less than this. That's good. Under total variation norm, where, yeah, okay, that's good. Which, okay, again, total variation means that the maximum difference in the maximum difference in absolute value in magnitude between the expectations between the expectations of the two measures with respect to continuous functions between -1 and 1, half of it. Okay, right? Yeah, I'm gonna drill it in my head, yo. Like, now I can recite it for the next 3 days. I can. For next week I probably can, but then come back to me in a month. Phew. Unfortunately. Let me take a little break from looking at one screen to looking to another screen. That's how it works. Wait, what? Oh, I just found out one of my seniors has a baby. What the heck? Yo, that's cool. I mean, congratulations. Is it his baby? I think it is. Okay. Okay, oh my god, I start to get weird. I'm tired. Do you have any drinks? Got this big ass water bottle. Love it. Okay. Oof. If we initialize the second Markov chain from stationarity, the second Markov chain? What do you mean second Markov chain? Is there a first? Okay. Oh, so you're assuming there's two of them. If you initialize from stationarity, and then this bound implies that In other words, the end step cannot move further in total variation than the initial. Oh, that's very nice. It's very nice. Yeah, so it cannot move further from in total variation norm. If moreover, if we take rho to be Tm rho prime for some prime, then once the n-step distribution achieves a certain distance, it can never move further than that distance in future iteration. In other words, they are non-expanding in the total variation distance. Wait, hold up. Hold up. So this is moving m, and then this is moving n more after than m. Rho equals okay, so from here you take rho equals to this, then we have this statement, which means that if I move n steps and then m steps, I will be nearer than I was at n step. That means, oh, that means I cannot move, like just between steps I cannot move backwards. So they're saying something different here. So this is saying that this is that means to say that after moving n steps, okay, I will be closer to than the initial distance. The two will be closer than the initial distance, right? So you're saying you start off here, they'll get closer. That's all it's saying. And then the second statement is saying that if one is already reached, then it's saying that the second one will be closer, but you cannot move further from the goal. And then this is saying that once you are here, you cannot go back. Okay. Data processing inequality. What? So that means there are probably other metrics in this case, that you can go further, and then you don't really want that. Still not enough to ensure, because this means that you get closer, but we still don't know the rate at which it is doing so. So it may not even vanish asymptotically. In particular, if the Markov transition features multiple invariant distributions, then we cannot guarantee that Markov chain will focus on the desired target distribution. The n-step distribution is guaranteed to converge to pi asymptotically only when certain undesired behavior can be avoided. That's a good point. So you have a target, and what you need to do is design a chain with that target as your invariant distribution. But you can have other invariant distributions. So if you get somewhere else, then so this is so the invariance alone doesn't help. I guess it means that if you are there, then great, you're there, you'll never leave. But otherwise, yeah. Surprising though. I mean, okay, distance. Okay, yeah. So I think for me at least, I need to start divorcing the idea of the distance between some type of visualization of the distance, which always feels like the distance between samples or something like that. But really I want to visualize the distance between distributions, where the word visualization doesn't even really apply anymore. But I should just keep that in mind. Okay. Alright, let's keep on going. One important undesired behavior is null sets, which means we go zero measure. Yep. complementary non-null. Oh, so it's just complement. Okay. In order to completely explore the target distribution, every Markov chain needs to be able to eventually explore every non-null set. Yep. Markov transitions that generate Markov chain that cannot reach every relevant set. More formally, when there is at least one non-null set with a subset A in non-null set with probability 0 for all n. Oh, that means it's reducible. That means to say you can take the whole space and kind of cut it out and be fine. So it's reducible. Reducible Markov chain partition into non-overlapping sets, in which realized Markov chains are confined in. Yeah, okay. In other words, the exploration is reduced to local. Yep. Oh, that's a cute cartoon. A reducible, pi-reducible Markov transition lies from P features at least one set A with non-zero invariant that cannot be reached, no matter how large n is. Initialize at positive value and average negative 1 and positive values. Okay, so this is bad. Very, very bad. Very, very, very bad. Very bad. If n-step distribution from every point, if the n-step distribution from every point in a if the n-step distribution from every point initialization. Oh wait, let me just check something. Just check something that I just misread, I believe. I guess I was just a bit confused by what I mean by so space X and a point in space X, and then each point in X defines a distribution at each point. And sampling from this distribution realizes transition. Okay. Tiny bit confusing, but I can get by. Okay, if the n-step distribution from every point initialization x naught allocates non-zero probability to every null set, that means it's irreducible. And that's good. One convenient circumstance where pi irreducibility is guaranteed is when the density of an n-step distribution with respect to the target distribution is everywhere positive. Everywhere positive for all x for all x naught and x. I don't know why there's a delta here. What does it mean? Oh, delta as in Dirac mass. So if you take that distribution, I guess, like a distribution function from every point initialization, so that is a density. I mean, there's a distribution allocates them probability every null set. That means you could go to somewhere else. That's my point. Then you can explore. Okay. I don't know why this is the case though, like derivative with respect to the other one is 0 everywhere. Oh, okay, I guess I can just remember the fact. Critically, irreducibility is determined not by the precise probability allocated to the measure, but rather the classification of measurable sets into null and non-null sets. If pi a equals 0 wherever this is 0 for some sigma finite measure, then do you have the same null sets? And pi will immediately imply phi. Wait, so if this is, then we say this dominates, right? Absolutely continuous with respect to v. Okay, cool. I actually read up on this. So if pi is dominated by some base measure phi, then phi irreducibility, then phi, whatever. Yeah, that means, wait, why would they share the same null sets? So this, whenever this, but this doesn't imply this, right? Wait, why would they share the same null sets? Because this can have more null sets, right? Isn't it? Wouldn't it be the other way around? Wait. Okay, wait. Maybe I'm reading the sentence wrong. If this, whenever yeah, so if this implies this, but then the other way is not necessarily true, right? Wait, absolute continuity of measures is reflexive and transitive. It's reflexive, but it's not anti-symmetric, so it is a pre-order rather than a partial order. Instead, if yeah, okay, I don't know about this part, it's a bit weird. Alright, let me move on. Okay, so if you have a measure that dominates your measure, all you need is this reducibility, I guess is what it's saying. So it's guaranteed whenever the density of an n set with respect to a dominating base measure is ever positive. Okay. The same result also holds if only a component of the n-set distribution is absolutely continuous with respect to phi. More formally, if we can write, the same result also holds if only a component of the n-step distribution. Okay, if we can write n-step distribution as a mixture with, okay, then d rho 1 d phi at so if I can form this as a convex combination, is it convex combination? Is that what I call it? With row 1 and row 2. Hex 1, row 2. Then with respect to row 1 is even if row 2 is not dominated by the base measure. What? Oh man, okay, this is getting hairy. A Markov transition is periodic when there is a sequence of disjoint non-null sets that trap the Markov chain into cyclic transitions. Here all Markov transitions start in A1 are confined to A2, and those starting in A2 convert to A3, and blah blah blah. Once a conversion wanders into, they're stuck, so it's a cycle. Yeah. Irreducibility ensures that at least some realized Markov chain from any initialization will reach every non-null set at least once, but doesn't guarantee that those sets will be visited repeatedly. Even if the Markov transition is pi irreducible, their exploration can be obstructed by cyclic behavior that forever traps them within some subset of the ambient space. Formally, consider a collection of at least two non-null sets that are disjoint. If this equals 1 for all A, then all transition AJ will be equal to AJ plus 1. Moreover, if this is for 1, then in AJ we return to A1, where the cycle begins anew. This is said to be period with period J and periodic composition, decomposition A1 to AJ. A periodic composition serves as a sink that absorbs, preventing them from escaping. In order to ensure that we must not have this absorbing behavior, so it must be aperiodic. One common way to avoid periodic behavior is to ensure that always emits non-zero probability of staying at the initial point. Ah, okay, that's a smart way. If the probability of returning is greater, then then probably you're going from x to aj plus 1 equals 1 only if x, yeah, consequently transitions initialized at set aj cannot be confined to a disjoint set. Shutting a periodic transition initialized at set aj cannot be confined to a disjoint set. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Recurrence. Yeah, so this is just kind of Markov chain theory. If Markov transition with invariant is reduced by a periodic, then it's unique invariant. In this case, it's said to be pi recurrent. The Markov chain generated from pi recurrent Markov transition explorer to ensure asymptotic convergence in the. I should really save this document. Why doesn't it come up? God dang. What a disappointment. Okay, so let me oh. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. If a Markov transition is recurrent, we explore every non-null set enough to ensure asymptotic convergence in the total variation distance. Okay. For almost all, this also implies that the empirical average of any measurable function with a well-defined expectation value converges to that exact expectation value. Oh. I mean, this whole part is pretty important, I guess. For almost all Markov chain realization, extending this result to all point initializations requires strong condition. So this means almost all, right? So asymptotic convergence, but wait, I don't understand this. I mean, it's not really a proof per se, but I guess it's just it's a result that I should know. Is it obvious? Is it obvious? I don't know. I don't know. pretty peaceful. What is this? Alright, let's. Oh my god. It's tiring. I'm only 1.5 hours in. Why am I so tired? Because I'm weak, I guess. Extending this result to all points requires stronger conditions than pi recurrence. If for all non-null sets and inputs, we have for some finite. If for all non-null sets and point initialization, so the difference is that this is almost all, but this is all. Oh wait, no, but this is and finite. Hold up. No, it's not about finite, right? Because this just means a visit for all non-null sets. Harris recurrent ensures that all Markov chain realizations from all initializations will visit every non-null set infinitely often. Okay, I mean, this is, I guess, this is the best if you can have this. This then implies that for all x, so this is Harris recurrence. While a non-zero density on the n-step relative, while non-zero density of the n-step distribution relative to the target distribution is a useful sufficient condition for pi reducibility, non-zero density of the one-step is sufficient for the Harris recurrence. Oh shit! I guess because Harris, all you need to show is that if this applies, then the rest applies, right? I don't know. That feels like what it is to me. For dominating measure phi, Harris recurrence is also implied by I should just highlight the entire section. What am I doing with my life? As with pi reducibility, you can also verify Harris recurrence using only mixtures of components from one state different to avoid any singular behavior. Wait, I don't know what it means. Using only mixture components of one-step distributions to avoid any singular behavior. I don't know what it means. I guess when you say components, what does it mean? Like marginal? Okay, doesn't matter. Move on. So this is asymptotic convergence, okay? Given the inherent difficulty of probabilistic combination, we can't take asymptotic convergence for granted. To avoid probabilistic behavior, we have to carefully verify recurrence, rely on that has been vetted by experts. Unfortunately, asymptotic convergence alone does not guarantee we behave well where we can only ever realize finite. Practical Markov chain performance is determined by pre-asymptotic convergence where n is large but finite, which is a more delicate property. In this section, we review the common strategies for quantifying pre-asymptotic while the asymptotic convergence determines to where m step and how typically you can define by bounding distance step and the target as a function of number of iterations. Very good. For some monotonically decreasing I don't think this is here. If we can bound the distance from every point in initialization, then we can bound the distance from any distributional relation. With an exception value, with an expectation value. If we can do this, then we can do value what? Oops. Geometric ergodicity. Am I done? Woo. Oh, I'm tired. Okay. Almost done though. Well, not really, but halfway there. Okay, I'll continue this another day. But alright. I think we will call it here because I don't think I can absorb more. Or that if I keep on going, I probably don't remember much, so there's no point. But yeah, okay. It's been about, an hour 45. And I say that's a good time to stop. Alright, see you guys next time.